Well, hey YouTube, it's petey twofinger, and I'm going to make two videos today. One is going to be on how to check your pedals or multi-effectors and see how much current they draw. A lot of times the manufacturers will sell you a device and they'll include a 500 milliamp adapter and they'll write 500 milliamp and really you find out it only pulls like maybe 350, 400, and that could be if you're mathing it all up and trying to squeeze the most out of a battery operated setup, that could be relevant. Again, you know, err on the side of caution, but anyway, here's what we got going on. This is a battery bag that I built. Okay, it's going to be one video, and then I'm going to do a demo explaining how to use your multimeter to test for current draw on a multi-effect or a pedal. And when you do that, you can upload that info. You should. Stinkfoot has a database, and the more stuff we get in there, the better. So I found this yesterday. It had this 20 mah. Holy cow, is that heavy? This is a 20 mah lead acid battery, which was dead. And that's like a $60 battery to replace. That sat in here along with an inverter. So the inverter ran off the battery, so you could bring this back around with you with this honking battery, and then you could get AC. Now I don't need AC, so I took the filler panel and mounted in a heatsink 7809 with some filter caps. Fused it, and I added a power LED, which is kind of dim. And then I used these speaker terminals. So basically I can take these cables, bring this bag, take these cables, and run 3 multi-effects off of this. Now, some of these multi-effects, they draw a lot of current. 9 volts is 9 volts is 9 volts, but the current is what really will kill the battery faster than anything, or blow the voltage regulator, or blow a fuse. So we here have 9.2 volts coming off of this power supply that I made, and there's 3 ports. These cables cut off of the Belkin charging boxes that I was getting a lot of them because they came with those batteries. So I'm reusing this cable. I put a little red on the one that goes to the outer conductor to make it 4 pedals. So the idea is I'm going to run this box, drag this thing to the woods. It's got a carry strap. Runs off a single one of these sealed lead acid batteries, and I'm going to try to power 3 multi-effects off it. Now the issue is this thing going to be able to handle it? Because the part, you know, it's a 12 volt battery, and the 7809 V-Reg has 2 filter caps on it. That part, it's got 3 legs on it. There's a ground, an in, and an out. And that just takes 12 volts in and it puts out 9 volts. So that gives you solid 9 volts. And when the battery gets down to like 11, it's going to cut out. Because you need like a 2 volt window on these V-Regs. That's just how they work. And there's also a capacity for the amount of current that it can pass through. So when you're looking at manufacturer specs, if you can find them, because they don't always tell you. And they're exaggerating them, they're doubling them. That's not conducive. So why don't we just make one video? I've got 2 meters. One is, and you don't need 2. One is just to make sure to double check voltage for polarity, and the other one, you notice I've moved normally the test probes go like set up in here. Well, you move it over for this test, and in my case I'm setting it to the amp setting to do this current test. So how we set it up, I've got one spot here, and that's 1700 milliamps of current. So that's more than enough. Okay, so that comes in to this setup here, which all of this is, you can buy these from Tata. They're 50 cents, and I got 1 male and 1 female, and what they are is they're alligator clippies with 2.1 mil, 5.5 outer diameter, 2.1 mil inner diameter. So you set this up take your one spot, plug it in, take your secondary meter, turn this on, and double check polarity to make sure you've got this all connected properly, and you're not going to see a minus, oh, well, when you hook it up right for pedals, you're not going to see a minus symbol there. So here we have the black is in the center, and the red is on the outside, and that's for pedals. That's how pedals run. It's called negative tip. Negative ground, negative tip, excuse me, Boss standard. So here we'll start with the zoom. Plug that in, it comes on. Let me shut this off. Take these two probes. These are the ones that are on the where I moved it over, and this is fused. Yeah, I'll leave it off for effect. So we go ahead and unplug two of our connectors. I unplugged the positive. I'm going to put the black on the side that goes to the zoom, or the one spot, and the red goes to the side that goes to the multi-effect, the zoom. And there it came up. Okay, here we go. Okay. Right here it's showing me 0.145, and this is amp. So I would need to move those because it's amp and I really want milliamp. I would move this 3 points over, and it's that makes it 145 milliamp. That's what that is. So the Zoom G1, and what's cool, it's pulling 145, 146. We'll change patches. Oh, this patch uses a little less. Look at that. This one, even less. And that one even less. That's a patch called distortion. I'm not sure the individual effects seem to pull more current. So on the back of this one I wrote 145, actually 150 would be idle. How do you spell idle? Like a car is idling?
I-D-L-E.
I-D-L-E. So this one is pulling in all reality. I didn't plug a guitar through and play it, which I'm going to try that test later. Here's the new X. It's the same test, and this is a newer model. I'm going to guess that this is pulling a little bit more. $240, $250. And why don't we get the Moore Ocean machine? This one is rated at 500 milliamp. There. I'm curious to see what this actually pulls. Oh, look at that. Oh, it just jumped up. So yeah, we figure, 400 from this, 300 from that, that's 700, and let's say 200 for this, 900, so I got 100 milliamp to spare on my V-Rig. I think I'll be able to do this. That's how I built, and I built a bunch of those. I've got smaller ones where everything's really compact in a little box. The idea with this is maybe I'll eventually get a bigger battery, or I can buy 7809s that are rated at 2 amp and put that in there. Or I could hook it up with additional 7809s and just have like two 7809s, one on each port, or one 2 amp one for the 2 ports, and a single 1 amp or another 2 amp for the single port. But I garbage picked that bag yesterday. That was a whim thing. That was really cool. And woke up early and put this together, and I figured I would show you guys this because this stuff is always really interesting to me, and I am going to be uploading this. Maybe I'll try to even put it on Stinkfoot. Anyway, you guys, take care of yourselves. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comment section. Talk to you later, and peace.